Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, Mr. Main Event himself. You often imitated never duplicated Superstar Team Vicious and gonna go over Raw this week was in Little Rock, Arkansas. And, well, first thing I want to address, yes, last week we had the jobber entrance, and this week we have something that's completely different. No, it was not. No, the music was not provided by my executive producer, LeRae Ben. However, he is still my executive producer. He's one of my best friends in the world. I absolutely love the man. Unfortunately, due to some minor technical issues involving a few spider monkeys and maybe one or two scientific experiments that broke several laws, we don't have the music for the time being, so we're using outside sources. Yeah. So with that said, Raw, Little Rock, Arkansas, but before we get into that, we're going to switch gears and talk about last week, just like always, with the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. The show started out with the Bloodline going all out on a warpath right off bat because Grayson Waller comes out with Austin Theory. They're doing the atypical heel thing, shitting on the town, talking about on how, you know, we're here, we're gonna, you know, doing the rah-rah sis boom bah, you now have permission to love us, all that kind of jazz. And then out comes Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is making his way down, and then next thing you know, boom! Jimmy Uso and Solo beat the holy hell out of him, and then Grimes and Waller, it's just like, no, you're ones, you're the ones, twos, and then beat feet out. And of course then, mein Xavier, Paul Heyman, winds up getting the microphone, and Paul does what he does best and talks that wonderful talk he does. Excuse me. Hypes up the Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble, talks about on how it's rigged. It is rigged, folks. It is rigged for not just my, but your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to lose, because he does not have to be pinned to lose his championship. And in fact, he has a very small percentage of a chance in winning. So if anything, instead of booing me, and I'm taking Paul Heyman's words, instead of booing me, you should be booing Nick Aldis. Going off on him, and then Nick Aldis comes up out of nowhere. It's like, listen, I'm not quite sure on how you're used to running things, on how you're used to working, but around here in these parts, you don't talk like that to me. You don't talk like that to the boss. So he just basically hit him with a, listen, buck stops here. You don't get to do that shit. And Nick Aldis, man, he is... Make sure I say this the right way because I got it worded right in my head. Nick Aldis comes off as a dude that, as far as GMs go, you legitimately do not want to cross. In that sense of, okay, you piss him off, dude, you ain't gonna like it. And I'm not even talking about just because he's a big dude. I'm talking because, no, listen, the dude is a badass. You know, I've seen his work. And for those that know who Nick Aldis is, you know, it's very understanding. And even if you don't know who he is, he gives off that vibe and that aura where you're just like, that is a dude who is very calm and collective, but the second you make him cross that line, he's going to very politely undo that jacket, roll up his sleeves, and knock your teeth down your throat. So back to the show. Aldis then winds up looking at Heyman. You know what? Tonight, there's going to be a trios match. We're going to have a 6-person tag match. It's going to be Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. Yeah! excuse me, going against the entire bloodline. That means it will be Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns. Paul then's like, whoa. Hold it. You and I both know Roman Reigns is not here. Well then, Paul, if I were you, I would find somebody who would want a team with Jimmy and Solo. Otherwise, it's going to be a 3-on-2 handicap. I'll see you later. I'll look forward to this match at the end of the night. During the course of the show, you see Paul trying to basically interview people to get them to want to go and work with the bloodline. He talks to Carlito, no luck. He talks to, Pretty Deadly comes up to him and offers their services, and then he's like, you guys do realize it's a 3-on-3 tag match, right? That means only one of you? Oh, we're sorry, Mr. Hammond. We'll just let you be. And then scoot off. Basically like that. So, let's just get to the main event match. Now, they're talking about, so, it's Randy, AJ, and Knight. Knight and AJ are already there, and they're butting heads with each other pretty fiercely. Excuse me. Just getting off the mend of a really bad sinus infection, sorry. And as they're doing that, Randy's supposed to be coming down, but they show backstage video. Randy got beat up, snuck on, so instead it's a normal traditional tag match. Randy shows up at the end of the match though, pops a RKO or two, and then boom, good guys win, bad guys lose. And they also have announced that as of this Friday coming up on SmackDown, they're going to be doing a contract signing for all 4 men in regards to the Fatal 4-Way. So the other big things that happened during SmackDown was Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro had a tag match against Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, with Santos Escobar sitting ringside doing commentary. Now, Carlito showed up out of nowhere to go and run interference on Santos to make sure he didn't go and try and interfere during the match. And Garza and Carrillo wound up getting the win. Sorry, brain farted there for a minute there. And I even had my notes there to tell me who won. Bah! Bianca Belair had a match with Bayley, which I gotta say, hands down, was match of the freaking night on SmackDown. If you're gonna go back and watch one match from last week from SmackDown, highly, fully freaking recommend you watch that one. And not just because of the in-ring work, but afterwards, the story of with Bayley and Damage Control, it's just, it's like the, yeah, I'm the leader. Yeah, you're the leader. Right? Just humor her. We're gonna toss her out sooner rather than later. You know, kind of deal. But, yeah. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits came out, addressed the beatdown they got from Cross and the Authors of Pain last week. Or, not from last week, sorry, from the week before. And they wound up showing a video on the Titantron, Cross with his hair done back. Scarlett, good God. Scarlett going from blonde to brunette. I don't know on how you make yourself go from a 12 out of 10 to a freaking 50 out of 10 just by making herself a brunette, but heaven help if she ever shares that secret with the world, because whoo boy. Anyways, they show video hyping up Cross, showing a video hyping up on how he's got the Authors of Pain with him along with Precious Paul Ellering. and they're now known as the Final Testament, which I get the reasoning for the name. You know, I grew up in an Irish Roman Catholic family. So, trust me, I get the whole biblical end of days kind of reference and all that. So, alright, cool. Hopefully it leads to something good down the road. I wouldn't necessarily mind at some point seeing Cross as US champ, and I would definitely love to see AOP as tag champs at some point down the line. I'm not saying I see it anytime soon. I'm not even going to try and fantasy book on how to get them into those conversations right now. Excuse me. I'm just saying I could see it happening. Carmelo Hayes had a match with Austin Theory, and this came to be from a backstage conversation, which then led to Nick Aldis saying, well, you two are going to have a match tonight. And the match was going good, really great, right up until it wasn't, and it got called off because of a ref call. And how that came to be was they were both up on the top, they came down, and boom! It was a meeting of the minds. Kind of like when your mom grabs you and your brother or sister and then clunk, makes you guys bunk heads have a meeting of the minds. No one? No one? Just me? Just me? Ah. Well, either way. It was basically that, but to put it in perspective as to explain why the ref called it, think of it like this. It was just like what I said, meeting of the minds, but they're up at the top, and they're both slamming into each other roughly at about 20 miles an hour. So, yeah. So both guys looked like their bells were, like the lights were on, but no one was home. And the ref, right away, that's it. It's over. Calling it. Ref called it. I haven't seen anything show up about any information on if the guys are good or not. I'm hoping they are, and hopefully they come back soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the SmackDown Rewind. So with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw, Little Rocket starts off, excuse me, good God, with the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes, coming out, hyping up the crowd, talking about on how he wants to win the Royal Rumble, he's looking to go in main event, and he is looking to finish his story that he started last year. And then out comes Drew McIntyre. Drew talks about looking at him, you know, you and I, we're pretty much cut from like the same cloth. I mean, hell, we were at one point tag champs, weren't we? Yeah, we were. What were we called again? The Dashing Ones. Ah, the Dashing. Hard to believe with a name like that we didn't take off, huh? Yeah, that brought back some memories. But, anyways, they bring that up. Then they talk about on how, you know, we're pretty, you know, Drew winds up saying, you know, we're pretty much like the same. We both had to leave WWE to find ourselves. We both started out here, we grew, but then we had to leave. We had to leave to find ourselves and figure out who we were. And then we went out and we worked our asses off to the point we went from undesirable to them to becoming undeniable and having them call us to want us back. But Cody, man, listen, nothing personal, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let you get in my way of what I want, and that is the title. And Cody basically looking at him, and keep in mind, I'm paraphrasing all this promo, mind you. Cody looking at him, you know, you keep on saying, it should have been, almost kind of like, you keep on going like it should have been. Last week you had a shot, but then Damian Priest. And then before that, and then this, and then that, and then this. You keep making excuses after excuses. We are cut. You say we're cut from the same cloth. Here's where we differ. Did I lose? Yeah. But I picked myself up, and I've been working my ass off to get back there. You lost, and you're making complaint after complaint and making excuse after excuse after excuse. And did we wind up, and if I have to go through you at the Royal Rumble, fine. But remember this. Your last match before you came back here to WWE, who beat you? And then Cody literally did a mic drop and walked off. Which, for those who don't know, Drew McIntyre's last match on the Independents was against Cody Rhodes. And this was back when Cody still had his brown hair. And then after the match, Cody cut a nice promo and then looked at Drew and said he was the chosen one. So yeah. So that said, now let's get into first match of the night. The human fucking Funko Pop, JD McDonagh, and Dominik Mysterio going against DIY. Really wish DIY was coming out the Rebel Heart though. Man, it sucks not hearing that. But yeah. Nice action at the start with DIY leading into the break. Johnny was punching bag post break. Then Ciampa wound up getting a hot tag in. It was good action. I thought it was a good opener. You know, nice tag opener. Match came to an end when they did the meeting of the minds in the middle to JD. And they did show a segment with R-Truth in the back, counting a big wad of cash. Priest yelling at him because, Truth, what's going on here? You're going and you're selling Judgment Day shirts out in the parking lot. This ain't yours. That ain't your jump. And then Priest said, whoa. I'm earning for the Judgment Day, dog. Here. And he hands him a big wad of cash. What's this? That's your cut from the shirts. I'm going to get everyone else their cut. It's mine? Yeah. Alright. Tell you right now though. After tonight, this ends. Alright though. So next match we got is Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going against Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. And this came to be because they showed a backstage video where Candice and Indi, they were talking to Adam Pearce, asking for an opportunity to get a tag title shot. Chelsea and Piper came in complaining about on how they lost their title match last week and insisted on a rematch. Pearce obviously said no and then suggested, well, Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell are looking for opportunities. You want an opportunity. I see an opportunity for both of you. For both teams. So, let's make this happen. So here we are. Nice action. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. Kind of sounded a little funky when we... Wait, what the hell was that noise? Are you playing... Seriously, are you playing Galaga again? Put the phone... Turn your phone off. The kind of help that I deal with, people, I swear. I put up with a lot of hell behind the scenes for you guys. I hope you all appreciate that. Either way, decent match. I thought it was good, and personally, I mean, I understand time constraints, but personally, I would have liked to have seen an extra 10, 15 minutes, but I get it's a 3-hour show and you only got X amount of time. But again, I'm not going to cherry pick and split hairs saying, well, you should do this or that, blah, 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 kind of stuff. It was a decent match. Candice and Indi got, it was, when I say decent, it was, but it was kind of decent. Candice and Indi got the win by doing like an assisted looking kind of lion salt onto Chelsea. Got the 1, 2, 3. Next up, we got Ludwig Kaiser going against the returning Xavier Woods. And this came to be because Gunther comes out with Kaiser. Gunther addresses, first things first, Gunther officially declares himself for the Royal Rumble. Then acknowledges Kaiser's aggressiveness, how he took out, how he took out Kofi last week, and then praised him for it. You know, you're doing it, you're going at it, you're showing a lot more ruthlessness, being very aggressive, very fierce, and that is what I've been wanting to see out of you. I have seen that in you for all this time, and now you are finally bringing it out. I am so proud of you. And then out comes Woods, defending his friend Kofi, rightfully so, and then saying, tell you what, you're ready, you're dressed to go. I'm dressed to go. How about you and me? We have a match now, unless you need to go and get permission from your mama. Referencing Gunther, and start getting mama's boy chants, and then Gunther is like, go ahead, and backs off. Kaiser says he accepts. They go into a little bit of a brawl, then they go into a break. And then from here, oh man, it was like back and forth non-stop. It was, Wade Barrett put it best on commentary. This match was like a pendulum. It was like every few seconds it was swinging back it was swinging one way or another. Absolutely loved and dug the hell the aggressiveness that Kaiser was showing. Like trying to think the right way to say this. In a very technical, violent way. And Woods was coming off in a very, you know what, you fucked with my friend, now I'm gonna fuck with you kind of way. And I absolutely loved it. I dug the hell out of it. And not only that, it gave Woods an edge. It gave Woods an edge that, you know, I didn't even know he needed until I saw that point. Like, okay, listen, no. I know he could do hardcore matches. That goes without saying. But dude, now you're just showing me that not only can he could go and get nasty. Like, ooh, damn. So match became a DQ. Match was a DQ win for Kaiser because they were fighting on the outside. Woods picked up one of the commentary chairs and then just boom, threw it on the Kaiser. Ref saw it, hit him, called for the bell, and then started to try and go at him. Excuse me. Started to go at him some more, and then Kaiser got a second win. Started beating the hell out of him. Went to go and do Shades of the week before with Kofi. Got him rigged up against the stairs. Went for a running start. Just as he turned the corner, Woods got up. Boom! Took him down. And then went to go pick up the stairs to go hit him. Kaiser went out through the crowd and ran off. They showed Woods backstage getting asked about what happened out there. And then next thing you know, Kaiser sneaks him, and as he's in the middle of beating him down, Jey Uso steps in like, yo, back off. Kaiser's then like, alright. So, yeah. Next up, we got Akira Tozawa going against Ivar, and this is, well, they emphasized this last week after Ivar's match with Otis. Tozawa wound up challenging Ivar on it, and this was a match I did not know I needed to see until I saw it. And I'm going to explain why in a minute, but Tozawa, he was punching up throughout the entire match. And it wasn't in like a David versus Goliath. Can the big man, can the little guy with the heart 3 sizes too big for his own good, defeat the big, nasty giant? No, it was just like ooh, this is something. And I give credit where credit's due, man. Tozawa, he wound up finding a way to use his speed to his advantage to be able to bounce around. And then when Ivar was going to try and do power moves, boom, was able to flip around to counter it. I dug it. I absolutely freaking dug the hell out of the match. I can't stress that enough. Tozawa wound up getting the win when Ivar was on the ropes. Wound up hitting him with he was climbing up the ropes. He hit him with a sunset powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. And after the initial shock, like, oh my God! And then him and Maxxine are outside the ring celebrating. Valhalla then, boom, takes out Maxxine. And Ivar then takes out Tozawa. And then they show backstage Master Gable congratulating Tozawa for what he did. And then they wind up saying that Gable is going to have a match with Ivar. And Ivy Nile said she's going to step up and take on Valhalla for Maxxine. So next up we see the Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth, going against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. First things first, Miz coming out by himself, and then R-Truth coming out with the Judgment Day. But the Judgment Day's right here up front, and R-Truth's behind them, just creeping up behind them like that. And creeping up behind them. And I couldn't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh because that segment where I told you about Truth giving Priest his cut for the cash. Priest also said to him, oh, in our tag match tonight, don't tag in. Don't tag in? Yeah, don't tag in. Oh, I get you. Don't tag in. I get you. Wink, wink. Right. I see you there, dog. So, yeah. And then, before the match even starts, Truth goes to grab a giant wad of cash out of his pocket. It falls all over the canvas. So he scoops it all up, grabs it, looks like a giant pile of cluttered up papers. Crunches it up, goes and gives it to Finn. That's your cut. That's your cut. Finn stuffs it in his jacket pocket. Goes, gives Dominik his cut. JD climbs up. Where's mine? You aren't in the Judgment Day. It's still going on. Oh God. Oh man, I'm so. Oh, our Truth makes me laugh too much. Sometimes for my own damn good. So, Truth, like I said, he got told not to tag in, and he's starting out the match. So at first he's like, wait, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? I got told not to tag. You in there with me, Finn? What we do? So Finn, he starts to work him some, and every time Truth goes and does something to him, he's like, my bad, dude, my bad. Ooh. And then, eventually at one point, Miz gets tagged in. He starts work. Miz actually does get tagged in. Starts cleaning up. He got the hot tag pop. Cleaned up. Did pretty decently in there. And I thought it was a decent match. And match came to an end when Priest, he looked really reluctant, looking to have to take out Truth. Like, he was like... And then when he saw Truth do a heel kick to Balor, then that's when, boom, got him. Hit him with the South of Heaven, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, yeah. Next up, we got women's tag action. Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark going against Tegan Nox and Natayla. And Shayna and Zoey, they were leading and pretty much dismantling Tegan. And it was just like, ooh, man, they're taking her apart by the seam. Ugh. Like, and I'm not saying this as a negative or a knock on Tegan, but man, the more I kept watching it, and the commentators kept bringing up on how, you know, she's had to fight back from injuries and almost career-ending injuries, all I kept thinking is, oh man, please don't hit that one sweet spot on a body part where then she's gonna be like, that's it, I can't do no more, I'm done. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Thankfully they didn't. Natalya got the hot tag in. Then rigmarole ensued. Match eventually came to an end when Shayna, she got Natalya in the Caribou clutch. Natalya, well, that came to be because, before I get into that, the clutch came into be because at one point Natalya wound up getting Shayna set up and rigged to go and do the heart attack on, like Brett and the Anvil used to do. Zoey took Tegan out. Zoey was outside the ring, pulled Tegan to the outside, popped her in the face with a super kick. And then as Natalya's holding up Shayna, waiting, eventually, let's go to go see what's going on. Shayna then, boom, then pops on the Caribou to clutch. Natalya used the ropes to bounce off. They're going reversing into a pin. 1, 2. Shayna then winds up working it around to go and get a bulldog choke in, like the kind you see Jon Moxley do. And gets a bulldog choke in, and then eventually Natalya tap out. So yeah, now we come to main event of the night. The modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, with Indus with him. Veer and Shanky. So Veer came to Raw with going against Seth Elizabeth Rollins because his middle name is not frickin', damn it. So honestly, I gotta tell you, this was a damn good match. I absolutely loved it. Jinder, he was leading at the start with Seth leading post-commercial break. They had some. This match was going pretty decent. Damian Priest was sitting ringside watching, looking like, okay, I'm gonna time my shot to cash in. I'm gonna time this just right. And then at one point when it looks like he's about to go and cash in, Drew McIntyre shows up out of nowhere and then them two start fighting. And then as that's going on, Indus winds up going and running interference to go and knock out Seth. Jinder goes for a pin, no go, and then they go and clock him with Priest Money in the Bank briefcase, easy for me to say. When the ref's not looking, then Jinder sets him up, hits him with the Colossus, goes for the cover. 1, 2, no! Kick out. Oh man, you could hear the sudden oh when it happened from the crowd. And it was like, whoa. Because honestly, listen, I'll say this with no problem whatsoever. 7 years ago, I was all for Jinder as world champion. I was all for it. You go back and look. Listen, you go back into the archives and look. By all means, you'll see it clear as day. Yeah. So, either way, Jinder, he got it, didn't get the win. Seth kicked out, obviously disappointed, frustrated, mad. Tries to set Seth up for it again. Seth then gets out of it, hits him with a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Show's over. It ends with Seth holding the title up, loud and proud, showing I'm here and I'm still champ. And so, yeah. So, that's it. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, please, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also, on that thread in Blue Sky, John is Tim Vicious as well. I'm trying to be a little more active on there when I can. Thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women, and a little bit of nothing. Also, don't forget to check out LFC on Tubi. It costs $0 to contribute on that. But if you want to throw out a few dollars to help contribute to someone, go to whatamaneuver.net, get some Vicious Rants apparel, t-shirts, tanks, long sleeves, hoodies, toddlers, and onesies. Perfect gift for somebody to love, somebody to hate, or if you just want to buy a shirt to give to Goodwill. Also, don't forget to check out these cool ass guys right on the Twitter. DSB_IV, main event _net, the main feed for the main event wrestling network. Sergeant Curry Pants 3 Count Thursday and D Dryer 1986. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.